What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mad Max back at it with a great another What If. So, yeah. So this is a part three, and yeah. So, Kogan is sort of deciding: should I leave or should I sort of may take Vegeta and Nappa? And Kogan remembers how fucked up Vegeta is due to him having the ego of a bitch. So yeah, Kogan chooses not to take Vegeta or Nappa. So he just sort of abandons them, and he basically uses one of the powers that he got from. He uses one of the powers that he got from Black Zetsu, and that is to go and travel into shadows. And sorry for that loud noise. That is my uncle outside. So at this point in time, Kogan, he's running away using Black Zetsu's power. He is leaping from shadow to shadow, and he finds a device. That device is sort of what creates frost demons. So yeah, Kogan does. Hold on. So Kogan right now is using his shadows to try to leave, but he runs into a problem. He is at a dead end. And at this point, he's sort of thinking, should I use one of the tail beast chakra? And since, pause to this what if, hold on. And since he's in a different beastly dimension, the QB chakra turned into literal key inside the ring. So, yeah, it's strong. So, Kogan, he chooses to leave. He uses the two tails. He uses the fuck. I forgot the name of it, but the thing that Obito used to the Kamui. He used the Kamui and left due to him having Itachi inside the ring of the Nine Tails and the land of not the land but the land of fire. So yeah, he's there right now. So he uses the Kamui to go to Earth. Wait, you know what? Scratch that. Instead of going to Earth, he goes to one of Frieza's ships. He sees Frieza, and as he was gonna attack him, he sort of thinks, if I can gain his allegiance, I can take him down and learn more about him and this empire. But Max, you should have already known Frieza weakness. Yes, but there's sort of a one thing I want to apply. Hex is still asleep, so yeah. So Kogan is standing in front of a living, breathing Frieza. He stands there and he looks at me and says, "Lord Frieza, King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta are no more." Frieza scoffs like, "Prince Vegeta and King Vegeta? They are no more?" Kogan basically says that King Vegeta wanted to kill all of you and your race, starting at the heart of your planet, the Frost Demon homeworld. So Frieza is pissed. Frieza quails in anger. He tried to do what? And as he's fuming with rage, he sort of sets coordinates to Planet Vegeta. He doesn't destroy Planet Vegeta, but he basically puts Kogan in command of Planet Vegeta itself. And at this point, Kogan is laughing. I can probably kill Frieza if I wanted to. But then Kogan remembers he has to go to a planet called Yardrad. He goes to that planet Yardrad to where like Goku learned the instant transmission. He goes there and he learns it. He learns everything about key control and spirit control. So yeah, he sort of learns like he creates a new technique. It's like to where you channel your key into like a blade or something. He creates like a double, like he creates like a sword slash scythe, and he goes in destroying everything. So basically, he learns like everything that Goku didn't learn about key control. So yeah, and he leaves and he goes back to his planet. They renamed it Planet Kogan. Planet Kogan is sort of up under Frieza's rule because Kogan he used a technology that he created to let's say to wipe all the memories of the Saiyans except for their loved ones. Even Prince Vegeta, I mean, even King Vegeta lost his memories. So Kogan at this point in time is sort of laughing, and he remembers. Wait, if I piss off Frieza, these idiots will do whatever I say. So Kogan at this point in time, he chooses to do something that King Vegeta wouldn't do. He teleports to Frieza's ship, and he basically pulls out a sword, a literal sword that he infused with the spirit key control. He created a sword and he slashed Frieza, and in doing so, he basically told Shin Goku to take over his body. Shin Goku took over Frieza's body, and in doing so, he learned so much. He learned way too much, to the point where he actually almost tried to kill Kogan. But Kogan got a hold of him. Kogan and Frieza, they both sort of they both chose a plan to go and attack the Frost Demon homeworld. Kogan remembers there's another planet. It's sort of like the Frost Demons, but it's the Hell Demons homeworld. So Kogan Shingoku, who is possessing Frieza's body at this point, Frieza, quote unquote, is going to the Frost Demon homeworld, and he goes there and he sees his father. He basically kills King Cold, and Shingoku takes King Cold's body and go to the upper levels, like the highest levels in the Frost Demons. He goes there and he reads upon a report that is like that's the heart and soul of the Frost Demons homeworld. So Shingoku he goes there and he sees scientists there studying it because it's sort of new to them. They haven't seen it because we guess why. I mean, when you guess why, it's from the world of not Pokemon. It's sort of from the world of the anti-spirals. The anti-spirals. So yeah, as a test, sort of not as a test, but like as a great task. Shingoku was tasked to take anything that was important of the Frost Demons. So Shingoku he basically killed all the scientists in there and took their memories on how it works. So Shingoku he goes there, he touches it, and he he has a body, like a literal body, but look, his body is connected to the sword and Kogan. So yeah, Shingoku basically absorbs the whole thing and takes it and like seals it with him into Kogan. And now to Kogan. Kogan at this point in time is sort of destroying all of the Frieza planets using a technique that he created. Cough, cough. This is sort of a super catch on. So Kogan uses something he called haki, not hakai, but like, you know, instead of calling it, it's called hoen. He uses a technique he called hoen. Hoen is a type of technique to the point where you are able to erase and create new things. He sort of erased all the Frieza planets, even somewhat of Vegeta. And guess what? Hex, he is sort of with Shingoku. He's sort of trapped in there with him because Kogan sort of wanted him to be there and learn from Shingoku. So yeah. So Hoenn, he basically used Hoenn on all the Frieza planets, including his planet that he rules, and he created more different kinds of planets, like different kinds of sands, and he made the sands of all of them be very, very kind. Because look, unlike in the canon version, the sands were bounty hunters; they killed for anything. He made different tribes. He even sort of created a star and a moon. But this moon is no other moon. This moon has the power to literally bring the dead. I mean, sort of somewhat revive the dead if they're injured. And the dead will get like all their memories and everything. So yeah. And he also made one thing. The Great Eight form, anybody is able to control it. On them different planets, they get different forms. Cheetah, dragon, leopard, and spider, and wolf. So yeah, it's sort of okay. So since the frost demons are no more, Shingoku goes to his planet, Planet Kogan. Planet Kogan is one of the many planets that is not ruled by Shingoku, but is ruled by his subordinates he created. He literally created subordinates. He created subordinates who are powerful enough to take down even Beerus. And Beerus doesn't know shit about this. He doesn't know nothing about Kogan or nothing. Only being who actually knows of Kogan is the Omni King, and the person who sits above the Omni King, his father. He's just a prince and just a Ponzi scheme. So the king, the literal king, sort of knows about Kogan, because why not? Kogan has entered his world, his multiversal place, his multiversal dimension, and he knows anything or somebody comes in there, he knows about it, like a prison, in and out. He knows about it. So back to Kogan. Kogan remembers. If I remember well, I will sort of like to do something. He sort of like at this point in time he is in the throne room, and he built like a TV, and like he basically made Planet Vegeta 10 times the length to where it was in the canon version, to the point where it sort of looks like our modern day world. The scenes there, they play music, they like games, they like anime that Kogan came up with. He basically copied anime from like different timelines and superheroes, and he just tweaked it a little bit to where like it's sort of like superheroes, to where like the Great Ape form, it's a legendary form that some Saiyans can probably have and access. So it's sort of like Earth, but different because the Saiyans are able to destroy anything they want. So they're yeah they are they are living in a peaceful life. Kogan remembers. If I remember well, I still got Hex sealed inside me with Shingoku. So he goes and he touches the seal on his wrist under all the rings. He touches it. Hex comes out almost full grown. And mind this, it has been a year, a literal year that Kogan did all this stuff. Hex has grown older and he's grown wiser due to Shingoku somewhat taking over his body. Shingoku learned how to tweak the seal a little bit to the point where to the point where Kogan is able to let him out inside a body like Hex body. Hex is now up under Kogan, not Kogan's, but like Shingoku's control. And since Kogan has more ideas on how to change the world of Dragon Ball, he remembers there's another universe, but not like another universe, but a planet that he remembers well. He sort of remembers the planet of dragons. But these dragons are mixed with Namekians and like healers. It's sort of mixed with healers and Namekians and dragons. So basically, yeah, why not? Kogan goes to that planet. It's called Planet Kona. Planet Kona, and that's the race's name. Planet Kona is sort of a peaceful planet. It's sort of secluded at the very end of the world. Like, sort of secluded at the very end of the diamond. Like, sort of secluded at the very end of the solar system. So, Kogan, at this point, is sort of thinking, I got a planet of dragons, Namekians, and healers. And since they did the deed, they probably got different kinds of healer dragons, attack dragons, and sort of mimicking dragons. So yeah, he goes there and he looks around and he sees these three blue greenish orbs. He sees them and as he goes to pick them up, a girl, a female koan, basically says, "Stop. Those things, those are ours. You can't take them." And at this point, Kogan is sort of attracted by her. Kogan basically takes her and seal her inside of himself to the point where, in doing so, he doesn't take control of her body, but she learns more and more about Kogan and like the places that Kogan has been to. And she also sees their leader, the anime god's leader. And Kogan basically lets her back out the seal. And she's there screaming in agony. All of the Konan can hear her screaming. And they all rush over there and they see Kogan. And one man walks out of all of them saying, Kogan. And as all the Konan basically turn around and they see their leader. And they ask him, "Wait, you know him?" And the king says, yes, he's the person who saved me and our race, who basically created us. Kogan basically says, I would like to take one of these. And he points to a smallish, like he points to like a ring of like 10, not 10, but like, so he points to like a ring of bluish green orbs. And the Conan basically calls them the King Orbs. They summon a Dragon King. This Dragon King is sort of like Piranga, but he sits on a throne, and he grants wishes that are humongous and sort of tremendous. Like, I'll say, okay, so sort of imagine creating a universe. That is his power. Sort of think of basically making all time bend to your will. That is him. He has the power to turn even a baby. He is able to turn a baby to a full grown adult and kill him and basically keep it on going and going in front of his parents. That's how fucked up he is in the brain. So Kogan says, screw it. I can just erase him if I wanted to. But then the Conan says, you can't erase this one, sir. We created him specifically for you. He is able to control bodies. He is able to take over living being bodies. And Kogan is like, alright, let's see if this will work. So he goes and he sort of teleports back to his world. And he goes out into the field. Because, yeah, why not? Kogan really don't want to destroy his whole planet and recreate it because it's sort of like a drag to it's sort of like a drag to recreate a whole planet and then basically catch up everybody. So nah. Kogan he summons the king, like the Dragon King, and the Dragon King is sitting up on his throne. And the king basically says, "Hello, Lord Kogan. You summoned me." Kogan is surprised. He knows me. That's great. So, I'd like to ask you something. Can you turn me into a, how do you say it? A dragon? A draken? You mean by the ruler of the dragon kin? Sort of somewhat that, but I would like to ask you one thing. Do you want to make a deal? And the king dragon says yes. I would like to, Lord Kogan, to help you in any way. So so as Kogan was gonna make the deal, he sort of remembers he needs to turn this planet into a great planet, like somewhat Earth. So he basically says, "Hey, can you can you put everybody from my world, not somewhat, not all the people, but like, can you create a small pocket dimension? What kind, sir?" And Kogan basically explains to where the king of the dragons says, "Yes, sir." And I'm sort of with a great magic word, King Kogan, or you know what? Instead of saying King Kogan, but he says King Sinbad, and another man pops up. I'm just kidding, but yeah, Kogan, like he says King Kogan, and a small pocket dimension inside of Kogan's own hand, not his hand, but like he had more rings, of course. He had rings on his fingers and on his arms. So there was a glove made for him that was basically holding a small thing that contained some of his parts, like that contained parts of different dimensions and timelines. So, yeah, the king dragon basically put that inside the ring, hand glove thing, and Kogan sort of is able to create big ass galaxies, but he says, I don't want to do this." And as he was saying that, but the king of the dragon says, "You have to hold up your end of the bargain, Lord Kogan." And Kogan remembers. Oh yeah, Kogan basically says, "Fine," and he lifts up the rings on his arm to sort of reveal a sign. It grew to the point where it basically transformed his hand, if you want to, into a monkey hand, like a monkey paw slash snake skin fur, something like that. So yeah, he's able to do that now. So Kogan basically says, if you want to, you can basically come here with Shingoku. And the dragon says, fine. And he touches Kogan's hand, and basically it's sort of absorbed inside of Kogan. Now, inside of the King Dragon, I'm gonna give him a name. Comment down below a name for the King Dragon because I'm getting sick and tired of calling him the King Dragon. So Shingoku and the dragon, they talk and they talk, and to the point where Shingoku basically explains his world. He starts from to where a person named Orochimaru created him and basically sealed him inside this boy. And so he explains everything of his world, and the dragon explains everything of this world. The dragons rule the dimension. Like the dragons have their own somewhat dimension. So yeah, that happens. So back to Kogan. Kogan is sort of feeling funny, and out of nowhere, his eyes and his senses they all sharpen. So yeah, Kogan now has the power of a dragon and somewhat a galaxy. So he sort of rules the world, and Kogan goes back to his palace, and he sees a girl, like the girl that he showed everything to, and she basically said, "Oh, Lord Kogan, you're back." And Kogan like, "What do you want?" "I want to ask you something in private." And this person is part of the Galactic Patrol. The Galactic Patrol has been monitoring Kogan for like a long ass time, seeing how advanced he is. And Kogan, at this point in time, is sort of, screw him. And he doesn't really care because if they bother into his world, like, if they bother inside of his worlds, his planets that he created, like, they don't want to mess with him. Like, if they want to, they can just go there, arrest him, and take everything off him. But in doing so, that would piss him off, and basically, Hoenn, like, he would be able to Hoenn everything away and sort of recreate it in his own image. So at this point in time, Kogan is not able to take down the king of the god. He's sort of not able to take down the king of the anime gods. So he has to get stronger and stronger and taking pieces from different dimensions. So yeah, Kogan and the girl, they lay it. They straight up does it. They do it inside of Kogan's room. So next day, Kogan gets up and he sees the girl and he's like, "Oh shit, did we do it?" And he looks around, he sees, "Oh fuck, we did." And as Kogan was gonna leave with the girl who had green skin, who had green skin, dragon scales, and a dragon-looking face and dragon horns, she woke up and said, Lord Kogan, where are you going? Did we have fun last night?" And Kogan like, oh shit, we did do it. So Kogan says, yeah, it was great, but I don't know if you're pregnant or not. Oh, if you're wondering if I'm pregnant, I am. How do you know? Said Cohen. Said Kogan. Kogan is sort of one like, how does she know that she's pregnant? And she lifts up her basically like she lifts up the covers and says that if a dragon gets pregnant, this sort of solid mark will appear on the person they laid with. And Kogan checks his body and he sees it. It's sort of on his hand because of the way he basically maneuvered and did it to her. So yeah, it's sort of on his hand. And Kogan is scared. This motherfucking child gonna be powerful. Damn it, I gotta kill it. I'm kidding, but like yeah, Kogan is sort of somewhat happy because at this time he sort of wants somebody to take over this universe when he leaves. So yeah, and since he sort of adjusted to where like if his son or daughter are birthed, they will have somewhat the same memories of him and of the worlds that he visited and learned different techniques. So yeah, Kogan is somewhat happy and he goes over and say, oh my god, I'm going to be a dad. And she says, of twins. And then she says, oh, quadruplets. And Kogan's face turns like, oh fuck. And he basically said, hey, if you want to, I can go ahead and create everything if you want to. I can basically birth them now, or sort. And so, do you want to birth them now, or sort of birth them later? And she tells us birth them now, cause they gonna hurt like fuck. Kogan at this point in time is how do you say it? He built he birthed all the kids, and he built rooms, and he put them in there. And due to him having powers of a lot of dangerous people, the kids sort of grew up smart, grew up fast, and grew up smart quickly due to him changing his body structure and DNA. And Kogan is how you say it. He's sort of somewhat happy because in his other world, it's sort of different because time passes different inside of the dimensions. So yeah, Kogan at this point in time is how do you say it? He's chilling, and then he gets and then a person from the Galactic Patrol sort of comes up there saying, you are under arrest for destroying planets. And this is Draco. Kogan says, shut up, Draco. Draco is like, how do you know my name? Don't worry about it now. Why are you in my planet? Why are you on my planet? We have suspicion that you destroyed planets and basically rebuilt them. Kogan says, you know what? I wonder how Bulma would react to this. And her sister, ooh, I have a lot of tech. They could probably need it. So, if they probably needed it. And since Draco heard the name Bulma and Bulma's sister, he basically says, sorry. And he calls the Galactic King. He says, I think they're too strong. We should probably leave them alone. The king says, nonsense. They can't be that strong. And Draco shows them a video of Kogan destroying a person and turning them into dust instead of recreating their structure. You can recreate people, things, planets, galaxies if you wanted to. So they left him alone. Now back to Kogan. Kogan is pissed like, shit, I gotta redo this shit again. Now, the girl, who is now the queen of the planet, king, like she's a queen of king of the planet Kogan, and she sort of learned how to cook different things that Kogan learned. So Kogan sort of remembered, isn't there another person out there, Broly? So he goes and he sees a planet, Planet Vampa. Planet Vampa is a planet that is sort of somewhat inhabited since Kogan went there and he changed up the whole makeup of some of the planets to a point where there are people living there on Planet Vampa and sort of riding the bugs, eating the bugs, taking care of them, building homes there. And we see a big monument of Broly. And he's like, oh shit, is he the king here? And we see guards, sand like guards, who possess green skin, greenish blue skin, a tail, and sand hair that is sort of black, a blackish blue color. And Gunga says, fuck yeah, he did get here. So yeah, Kogan bases, hold on. I like to see your king. And the guard say, Tikala loko, tikala malakala. And basically that's their language. So Kogan bases, you know what, screw it. He basically walks by them and he basically teleports to the throne room, saying, "What's up, Broly?" And Broly sits there like, "Who are you? And what are you doing on my planet? Get out of my planet!"